This is possibly one of the greatest lessons you'll ever learn. It's the difference between just your average stock standard player and a great player. Now I've got Matt Kawalski here and he's going to play a couple of forehand drives. There's the first one, nice and good drive to target, and the second drive, and off it goes. What we're going to show you is the difference it makes between actually taking the ball early or going and getting the ball versus just waiting for a nice comfortable drive. Now it all happened a bit fast, so I'll go through it a little bit slower. And if we see here, this is the first drive. You see the ball is coming up and then it starts to come down. Now he hasn't gone and gotten the ball, he's just found himself in a nice comfortable position. He's not under any stress and therefore he will hit target. But what that's not doing is it's not putting any pressure on his opponent at all. Sometimes when you play you wonder how you're hitting the ball really well but you're just not winning, and the difference in that is what you're doing is you're allowing them to have plenty of time to be able to make a really good position on the court, and so the outcome, which is really good, just keeps coming back. If we take a look at the next one, so here's Matt again. This one he's actually going to take the ball on the rise. So he's going to go and get the ball, he goes from there, and the ball is still on the way up. So what he's doing is he's actually reaching forward and he's gone and driven his racket through the ball. See how it's just such a more dynamic sort of a strike of the ball and everything as well. Once again, still went to target, it was still a really good outcome, but it is a much difference between the time that it gives your opponent to actually retrieve the ball. So I'll put the two shots over the top of each other and time them with the bounce. In other words, as Matt comes forward, it will be him striking the ball as if he'd gone and gotten it. See the amount of work that he's done with his feet to get to the ball. And there's the first hit. So he's still only approaching the ball in the second hit. Now, he has had to go and make the early decisions, and we'll have a look at that in just a sec. Now the outcome here, see one shot goes off, and then the second shot follows. Now it's a big difference, it's about 0.6 of a second or somewhere there, as in the difference between those two balls coming down the wall. And if you think that's not long, a person can step about a metre in about 0.3 of a second or thereabouts. So it does make a big difference. So you just missed that last shot. That was just Matt playing a back foot drive out of the back corner. It took about 0.3 of a second, and that's why players are so fast. They are really, really quick, and they can actually control the ball really well when they actually move fast as well. You need to take advantage of every single thing you can to be able to put them under pressure, and taking away time is one of the best weapons that you've got. Now I've gone back to the start of these two shots, and what you'll notice here, there are differences at the start, and that's where all the work is done. So you see Matt's getting down really low here as he attacks the ball versus the standing upright one where he's actually just going to take his time. So it's the attack on the ball by getting down low really early and really making the most of your forward motion, trying to get your body as far as you can toward the front wall. Now at this point you'll also notice that he's actually stepping really open stance toward the front wall on the first one. So he's gone through here and he's had to really step toward the front wall to attack the ball, and that's a byproduct of having to go and get the ball a little bit, so you can't be quite as side on. Now you may actually sacrifice a little bit of shot quality sometimes, maybe you have to do a little bit more work with his wrist, but that all comes into racket ability and so on, which is why you do certain exercises to improve your racket ability. And the second one, see, he stepped across the side wall more, and what is really interesting is by the time he's actually struck the ball, see his feet across here for this one, but by the time he's struck the ball and come through, he's got his feet in the same line, so he's turned his body as part of his swing. So that is really, really, let's say, good to be able to get your body around as part of your swing as well. It all comes down to balance and control and ability and all the rest of it, but it is something that you can learn and something that you can train for. So the desire or the means to get the ball early is to attack the ball early with your body. You need to do the work with your body. You do that work with your body and everything later on becomes so much easier. You don't need to strike the ball as hard, you just need to take away your opponent's time. And as I said, the outcome is fantastic. Off off it goes. So you'll pick up about 0.6 of a second or thereabouts. If we show you those two shots, so it's up to you. Do you want to take the game on, or do you just want to cruise through and just allow the your opponent as much time as they like to return the ball? This is the difference between just average players and great players. So get in there, go get the ball, and make it happen. Hope yourselves.